Hello friends, my name is Sumitra Tudani and today we will be discussing about the golden rules and modern rules, like which is to be debited and which is to be credited in a very simple way using happiness or sadness. Like based upon our emotions, we'll be deciding that okay, whether we should be doing it a debit or it should be done a credit. Right. So before we directly jump into the topic, let's take an example. Say there's a father whose name is Alex and there's a son whose name is Alex Traders Limited. So Alex is giving some amount to Alex Traders Limited, say 10 lakh rupees, to start a business. Now we have to pass the entries in the books of Alex Traders Limited. So Alex Traders Limited is receiving 10 lakh rupees, right? So he will be very happy for this 10 lakh rupees. So we will be finding that cash needs to be debited over here. But at the same time, he knows that this 10 lakh rupees has not been given to him for fun, for party, right? It has been given to him to build up a business, generate profits from it, and then report to Alex that okay, what is the profits that you have made during that particular period of time. So though he will be happy for this 10 lakh rupees, so which we are debiting, at the same time he will be little sad also that he will have to give this money ultimately to his father. So for that portion of money which he has received, we call it as capital. That is the initial investment amount into the business. So as we say that happiness and sadness both are two parts of the same coin, similarly in accounting we follow a double entry system wherein if we record something in a debit, same amount we have to record it in a different head as credit. So going forward, say within a month of time, as when we are preparing a balance sheet on 30th April, he has been able to purchase some property and some goods which he will be selling off in the future. So when property is coming into the business, he'll be happy for that property, right? So that we are debiting. But at the same time, we know that to purchase the property, he will have to lose upon some amount of cash, that is 5 lakh rupees. So with that same 5 lakh rupees, his cash balance is going to decrease. Similarly for inventory, that though 3 lakh inventory has come in and so I'm happy for the stock, but at the same time you know that I'll have to lose upon 3 lakh rupees. So overall 8 lakh rupees will be reduced from the cash balance to come up with the revised figure of 2 lakh. Now coming to the initial share capital that was invested, that is constant, right? So now going forward, say he has been able to sell off this inventory. This 3 lakh inventory, he has sold it off say at the balance of 8 lakh rupees. So if I sell a product of 3 lakh rupees at a price of 8 lakh rupees, this is the profit that I will be making, right? 5 lakh rupees. So if you see this format, it says statement of profit and loss. On one side we have the income, the other side we have expenses, and on net basis we get the profit. So to derive this profit, we also have a column known as change in inventories. So change in inventory is nothing but the opening inventory minus the closing inventory, right? So if my opening inventory, as we can see in this question, when we are preparing a PL for 31st May, already on the beginning date, I had an inventory of 3 lakh rupees, right? And in the closing, I'm left with nothing because that 3 lakh inventory entirely has been sold it off at a value of 8 lakh rupees. So now suppose if I have an inventory of say 1 lakh rupees. So this indicates that I have sold off 2 lakh inventory or 2 lakh stock at a fair value of 8 lakhs. So I have made a profit of 6 lakh. Cool. On the other hand, say suppose it's just not about this 3 lakh rupees. Maybe I had during the year purchased some 2 lakh additional stock. So this 3 lakh plus 2 lakh, total 5 lakh, and then I have a closing inventory of 1 lakh, which means I have sold 4 lakh stock at 8 lakhs, making a profit of 4 lakh rupees, right? So this is a very common thing which will be needing ahead. So now coming to the main topic that we were talking about, that is about the golden rules or the modern rules, right? So Guys, one thing that we need to keep in our mind is that we are never going to learn anything that, okay, this has been written in the book and so we need to do it anyway. No. Whenever we are learning anything, whenever we are coming through something new, we'll have to understand that why this is particular thing happening, why we are debiting, why we are crediting. You should not be saying that, okay, because it's written in the golden rule that the receiver has to be debited, so I will be debiting. No, we'll try in this session to understand why we are debiting or why we are crediting any particular thing. So now let's come to the golden rules. So golden rules, in which you will be finding that there are three kind of accounts that are considered. One is personal account, the second is nominal, and the third one is the real accounts. So in personal account, as the name itself suggests, that it relates to person. Now that person can be a real person, say Alex, or maybe it can be a corporation, a company, a partnership firm, say Alex Traders, right? So that can be a person. And then we have nominal accounts, which relates to PL related areas. It can be expenses, income, gains or losses. And we have assets, or the real account, which basically deals in assets, that whether the asset is coming in or it's going out, right? So let us just quickly go through this one to understand what is to be done when. Like, say for example, we talk about Alex Traders only, that suppose the person is receiving 10 lakh rupees. So when you're receiving that 10 lakh rupees, the person who is receiving the funds, what do you think will be his reaction? Yeah, correct, that is happy. So similarly, just think about the person who is giving. So from his pocket, that amount is going off, right? So he will be sad. So that way the golden rule says that debit the receiver and credit the giver. Cool. Now again, going forward, say PL. So for the expenses or the losses, let's take it very clearly. Say for example, over here we saw that capital is not his own pocket money or the money that he can party with, right? This money comes with a lot of responsibilities, and he knows that this money belongs to his father, that is Alex. So it's not as true. It's not Alex money, right? Cash is over here, for which we have done debit. But capital, if you see, it's of credit nature. So if this person is making a 4 lakh rupees profit or 9 lakh rupees profit or 100 million profit, he knows at the end of the day that he will have to give all the accounting profits or losses, proper reporting and everything to his father. That, okay, father, this is the amount of money that I have generated for you, right? Ultimately, he is the person who is running the business, but everything, whatever profit is being generated, that gets added up to the capital portion, right? So will this Alex Traders, who is working so hard for this business, be it in any way happy? He will be happy for the cash part. Say for example, I say I have generated this 8 lakh profit. So that cash that is coming in, say if I have to prepare a balance sheet on this date, I have a balance of cash, property, plant and equipments of 5 lakh. Inventory, I had 3 lakh rupees and I have sold off 2 lakh inventory. Over here, as you see, change in inventory, and I am left over with 1 lakh inventory, that you can see. Cash and cash equivalent, as you see the links up, there was 2 lakh in the beginning, and he has made a sale of 8 lakhs, that is added, and he has purchased. So again, outflow of cash is happening, so he's sad. So this is debit, and this is credit. So net balance, he is having 8 lakh rupees, right? So he is very happy for this 10 lakh rupees getting changed through different ways, purchase and sale, and ultimately this cash balance is increasing from 2 lakh to 8 lakh. So he's happy for this part, right? The cash that is coming in, the real account, the cash that is coming in. But the profit that he has generated, this 4 lakh rupees, is ultimately belonging to his father Alex, right? The real owner of this business. So from the viewpoint of the business, if you see, from the viewpoint of Alex Traders Limited, if we have to see, he'll be happy for this cash part, but for the profits, for the gains, whatever is made, he is not happy. So we will be doing it as a credit. So you will be finding that all the incomes and gains will be credited. Now coming to, say, example of expenses. So whatever expenditure is being done, that is being done on the business, that is Alex Traders Limited Say suppose there was first only one chair in the room. Now we have 10 chairs in the room. So the brand value of the company is improving. Whatever expenditure is being done is on the company. So automatically his reaction will be that he is happy. So now if you think about the losses, so if there is a loss into the business, definitely his cash balance will reduce and so he'll be sad for that. But if I talk about the liability or the commitment towards the owner, that will reduce. Initially he had to pay a 10 lakh rupees amount to his father. Now suppose the business goes into losses, so he'll have to pay only say 6 lakh rupees. So for that purpose, if losses are happening, his liability towards the true owner will reduce. So he will be in that way happy that because of losses his liability is reducing. So for all expenses and losses we find we'll be happy, and for all the incomes and gains we are sad because we know that this does not belong to me, this belongs to my father or the owner of the business. Now coming to the assets, this is very clear as we discussed just now. In case of property, plant and equipments, inventories, all these that are coming in, so automatically I am happy, and all that is going out I am sad, so it's credit. Cool. In a similar way we also have modern rules. We'll be discussing that as well. So in modern rules, we find that there are some assets and liabilities, capital, revenue, and drawings. So for example, say assets. So if an asset is increasing, what will be your reaction? You'll be happy, right? That maybe first you were running a one-story building and now you are a two-story building. So in that case, if an asset is increasing, I am happy. If a liability is increasing, I will be sad. If capital is increasing, I'll be sad. If revenue is increasing, I know this revenue does not belong to me, right? I'll be happy for the cash part, but the revenue that is increasing, that will bring sadness because ultimately that's related to the capital only. This does not belong to me. This whatever profit I'm making is ultimately going to go to my father, right? So I'm sad. Expenses are done on whom? It's done on the business. So the business is happy that okay, the expenses are being done on him ultimately. And coming to the drawings, whatever drawings the owner is making, ultimately, if we see from the future perspective, my liabilities towards the owner gets reduced. So I'm happy in that way. So again, it's a debit. Similarly, if the opposite is happening, we will be going for the opposite. Say suppose my asset goes off, so I'll be sad that okay, previously I had a AC at my office and now it's not there, so I'm sad for that part. Again, so I'm not discussing on this. So this is all that we had to discuss in the golden rules and the modern rules, like when we have to debit, when we have to credit. Debit in short is happiness, credit in short is sadness. I hope this was a good enough thing for you to learn, and you would definitely use it while you step into the accounting world, or maybe even when you plan to go ahead. In case you have any doubt relating to this, feel free to comment in the section. Thank you.